Hey everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. If you are listening live, it is the 29th of October at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and I want to welcome you. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I want to also welcome you to the show. As always, we are over in the chat room, and you can find the Facebook chat by heading over to 12radio, that's number 1, number2radio.com, and click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. And Scott is standing by, and he'll gladly let you in the room. So that's what to do. I am also live streaming this event from the chat room. So if you head over to the chat and you'd rather watch, you can do that from there. If you would rather watch later on, you will find this live stream uploaded to my YouTube, which is Domestic Mystic on YouTube. So anyway you slice it, I am there. I'm so happy to be here. So it is, of course, the show before Halloween, and I'm so happy. You guys know I love Halloween, but I gotta tell you, we had a blizzard last night. We still have, well, nothing has melted. It's really cold. It was 11 below with wind chill this morning. 11 below, and it's not Halloween yet. So, you know, boo on that. But yay on being in a warm, cozy house and with safe cars to drive and warm clothes to wear. And you know what? Life's pretty damn good. I don't really have a lot to complain about. The weather, this is not my jam, but this is my hope, the trade-off. If it is such an early winter, maybe, just maybe, we'll get an early spring, which would be phenomenal. So I think all we can do right now is hold on to our hats and hang on for the ride. So it is what it is. Some interesting things going on because it is Halloween week. Tomorrow, I am on a special show in the afternoon. This is a combination of 2 shows coming together so that we get 2 hours, a great 2-hour Halloween special. So the show is called Postcards to the Universe Down the Rabbit Hole. And so that's where we're going. Of course, it is Melissa Caprio and Raven McMinn who are the hosts of those 2 shows, and they have invited me and Dr. Elisa to come and do a Halloween special. So we will be talking about all things Halloween, and I'm sure sharing some stories. Maybe we'll do some readings. I don't know. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. So that's great. And then on Halloween night at 7 p.m. Pacific, I will be on Bitch-splaining with Kelly McLean. We are doing some readings and some poems, and we're doing a little scene from Macbeth, and it's going to be awesome. So hopefully you can join us for that as well. That's all that's going on around here for me. But I do know that you'll see Mo Abdelbaki twice this week, on Wednesday and again on Friday. So that's something to look forward to. He'll be on the Long Road with Kai Greenway tomorrow, Wednesday, to talk about Samhain or Halloween. And then he'll be back on Spam, Strange Mysteries and Phenomena. I got it, with Raven and Kai on Friday. So anyway, lots of fun stuff this week, and that's just a taste of it. So lots of fun stuff happening. Now, I do want you to know that I am going to read Witch's Runes again today, as promised, and so I have them. I've got them all ready to roll here. So if you would like a Witch's Rune reading, let me know. Something a little different today. I'm going to combine the Witch's Rune reading with a card. So I'm going to pull cards from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck because, well, I love that deck. And I don't know, it feels ancient to me. I think it feels kind of Halloween-y. So, Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck, Witch's Runes. I'm going to combine them into one reading. So if you would like a reading, let me know in the chat room what it is that you're thinking about, and I will do my best to get to you and support you. So that's what's going on. I have laughed myself silly over our Halloween blow-ups. So we have these big blow-ups out in the yard, you know, the kind, the nylon ones with the little fans in them, you know, and we have one that's a pirate ship with a couple of, pirate zombies in it. We have one that's a little haunted house that has pumpkins around it, little ghosts coming out. And then we have a really tall one. He's like, I don't know, 12 feet tall-ish. A giant spooky tree. And he has these big arms. So anyway, last night it was blizzarding and the wind was blowing really hard. And I turned them off because I didn't want them to get ripped out by the wind. And the tree had a hard time going down because there was wind blowing kind of up, you know, blowing up his dress. And so he basically went down face first on the yard, and the wind continued to blow in him. So he looked like a toddler that was like pounding his fists on the ground, having a fit. And it went on for a long time. And every time I looked outside, it was still happening, and I was dying laughing. It was so funny, you know, because that's how we all felt about a blizzard in October. But then this morning, he was covered in snow, and I didn't dare turn them on. But then, well, Scott did turn them on because he wanted to see if we could at least get the snow off of them, because, you know, if the snow doesn't melt, these are going to be a real bitch to get dry and put away. It's going to have to happen in the house, and that's going to suck. So anyway, he turned them on. So watching him stand back up with all of this snow on him was so hilarious. He had all of this snow on his back, and like his arms were filling up and his face was like starting to look up, but he was standing really slow, kind of like an old lady that had her hand on her back, you know, me, I'm the old lady. And I laughed forever watching him finally get stood up and get all of the snow kind of, you know, to fall off while he was getting into his scary tree position. Anyway, I know it doesn't take very much to entertain me these days, and I could apparently sit at the window and watch the antics of, you know, our big scary tree all day long. I probably will. So there you go. Really exciting things happening at my house, obviously. I know. What a dork. Okay. It's okay. Awesome. Yeah, okay. Alishaya, she's wondering, next week will be the Animal Communication Show. So it'll be the first show the first Tuesday in November will be the next Animal Communication Show. So it is coming. All right. Well, I hope you guys have some fun Halloween plans, or fun for you, if that means turn off the porch light and, you know, cuddle in your bed and watch TV. Great. If that means go to a party, great. If that means take little kids trick-or-treating, great. If that means hand out candy, great. We don't get trick-or-treaters because we're the weirdos on the street and everyone's afraid of us. No, I'm kidding. That is a joke. Maybe, kind of. But most of it is just that we just don't. Around here, a lot of communities do trunk or treats. I don't know if you guys do those, but basically, you know, I live in a very religious community. And so, you know, a bulk of the families here are all, well, they're Mormon, and they do these trunk or treats at the church. So basically they have a set time where everyone shows up. You open up your trunk. A lot of people decorate their trunk, and most of them drive like these big SUVs, you know. So you pull up, you open up your big suburban trunk, and you put some lights and some bats and some Halloween stuff around it. And basically you just march all of your kids around the parking lot to everybody's car and get your candy. It's kind of fun. Everybody's dressed up and it's a party, you know. It just kind of ruins Halloween because kids don't go door to door much. And that sucks. When I was a kid, of course, we lived in town, and now I'm not really so much in town. We would get a lot of trick-or-treaters, but we don't get any. We'll be lucky to get 2 or 3. Isn't that weird? I know. It's kind of sad. But it is what it is. And I don't have trick-or-treaters anymore, you know. So anyway, we're going to be home that night, and I wish we would get some trick-or-treaters. But this year, that trunk or treat will probably be held in the church gym, and you can't blame anybody for that. Because otherwise, you're trick-or-treating in your snowsuit. So anyway, that's just what it is. So I think I'm just going to stay home and watch movies and hang out and do Kelly's show. Well, it's a pre-record because, you know, it is Halloween night. So, but I'll probably come play in the chat room anyway. So that's what's happening up in here. Nothing crazy, but everything crazy, right? That's kind of how we roll. Okay. Well, I want to talk about a couple of things. Let's take a look at Luminous. I'm going to put a link in the chat room. Most of you know that I do publish a weekly reading, or no, a weekly magazine, sorry. that is a combo of my work and quite a few of my super talented colleagues over at One Two Listen. So I'm always excited to see what they're sending me, and come about Friday, Saturday, it's like Christmas morning in my inbox because I'm getting all of this amazing work from these guys. Their art and pictures and designs and stories and articles and thoughts, and it's just cool, and scopes, and it's a ton of fun. I really love it. So I probably come out the winner in all of this for real. But anyhow, I put a link in the chat room, but you can also find it if you head over to katie-weaver.com and click on the magazine, Luminous Magazine button. You can find it there, and it's little on the screen when you go to the website, but there's a little arrow thing at the bottom that you click on and it brings up the full screen. That's how you do that, because you would never be able to read it from there, but that's how you make it big. So let's take a look. All right, I called this edition the Samhain Dreams because, hello, it is finally Halloween. I have literally done Halloween in the magazine for a straight month. And so I was looking at, there'll be a new design next week because obviously we can't stay with Halloween forever. I mean, we could, but should we? Probably we should, but it's okay. There's a lot of magical art out there, so we'll move on. All right. My musings, I talked a little about it being Halloween week, meaning that the veil is very thin to the other side. This is a week that being able to communicate with spirits that have crossed is easier. A lot of people believe easier, and I think it's true, than other times of the year. So this is also a really important time to honor your ancestors. Many cultures throughout the world have a day, or have had a day somewhere right around this time, that they choose to honor their ancestors, like Dia de los Muertos, right? And so, I do not speak Spanish well. I took Spanish, I hate to admit this, but I took 2 years of Spanish in high school. I should know something, just anything at all. And the only thing I can really do is insult my kids in Spanish. That's all I know. That's ridiculous. What the hell was I doing for 2 years? Not Spanish. That's what. Wish I would have known how much I would have loved to have had this skill later in life. But what do teenagers know? Well, they've proven to know, well, things, but not things that are life skills. There you go. Okay, about your ancestors. This is a really good time to do an ancestor altar. You can do an altar anywhere, on the top of a table or a dresser or even a bookshelf or a shelf on the wall, or anywhere that has a little surface for you to set up. So what would you put on an ancestor altar? Well, things of your ancestors, pictures, things that represent them, things that they like, things that were meaningful to them. You decide. You can get creative, and maybe you have ancestors that you don't know enough about, right? But perhaps you just put something that represents them. Get creative, right? And just name that thing. If this is the thing that you want to have represent your, relatives that came over on the Mayflower, then maybe you get a little ship. Or maybe this is to represent your ancestors that are from, I don't know, now I can't even think of a place, from Egypt. Then perhaps you get a little Egyptian icon of some sort, or whatever. You decide what it looks like. And maybe these are much more recent ancestors, parents, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, the like, and friends. And you put things on your altar that are meaningful to them. And then every day, as you, are in your daily routine, as you're walking around, maybe you take a few minutes to look at that altar, to think about them, to talk about them, to acknowledge them, right? Right. So I did do a different kind of altar for me this year, and I shared a little video here, a YouTube video of me making it, and you can find that over on Domestic Mystic on YouTube as well. But I'd made a terrarium. I keep seeing these freaking cute terrariums on Pinterest that people have put a bunch of crystals in, and they're adorable, and plants. and I wanted to make one. So I decided if I was going to make one, I wanted to do it with some purpose. So I made it my altar this year. So you can take a look at that and maybe get some fun ideas. But as always, take advantage of this time of year and the connection to those that have crossed. This is a beautiful time for it. And don't forget, when you talk to them, when you talk about them, they hear you. They know that's going on. I didn't say that to make you feel guilty, but I did say that for you to maybe consider, communing with them a little more. Okay. On Kai's Kaleidoscope, she's talking about Samhain as well, the ancient festival marking the end of the harvest season, and Mother Earth begins to close down. Yes, that is what Samhain is all about. So she wrote a beautiful article about it that will make you think, as always with Kai, but also give you some education. Maybe teach you a few things that you did not know. So thank you for that, Kai. Okay, my tip of the week is to carve an abundance pumpkin. Now listen, maybe it's not abundance for you. Maybe it is about something else. Maybe it's a chakra that you really want to focus on. Maybe it's a symbol. Maybe it is, the Eye of Horus or a Hamsa hand or whatever, right? You decide what symbol you want, what it should look like, but pick a good sized pumpkin, right? Cut a lid, tear out the seeds, do the pumpkin carving stuff. And then take a sharp knife and carve into the pumpkin words and symbols that speak to you about abundance or about whatever it is that you're working on or trying to attract. And then you can carve out some small holes to press some crystals into, like clear quartz, citrine, aventurine, whatever it is that you are working on, or green calcite. If it's abundance, I had said to use citrine and green calcite. But if it's love, maybe you're going to use rose quartz and green aventurine and, whatever you decide. Maybe you don't put crystals in it at all, but you could, right? Press those into the flesh. When you're done, you want to bless this pumpkin. So put a few drops of essential oils on your hands. Frankincense is awesome for abundance. So is mint. Or maybe you do something totally different, but put a few drops on your hands. Rub your pumpkin down with your oils while you are speaking into your pumpkin whatever you are trying to do. If you're manifesting something, if you're celebrating something, whatever, your words, your intention, your frequency makes all the difference, right? So you make that pumpkin whatever it is that you need. And then, of course, you're going to light a candle in it and maybe keep it on your step and keep it burning all month, all month through the end of the month. Or if you live in a place you can't put pumpkins out, maybe you have smashers in the neighborhood or animals that get to them, maybe you're going to keep it on the kitchen table. I don't know. That's up to you. But every time you light that candle, you are energizing the energy that you put into that pumpkin. So that's a really fun way to do Halloween, is to do a pumpkin with purpose. So fun. And if you make one, I would love to see it. All right. Dr. Elisa has brought us her third installment of her book, The Way of the Well, from Amazon. And of course, you can get it over on Amazon via Kindle and via paperback. So if you're enjoying what you're reading here, I have thought this was a ton of fun. Go get the book. I love it. All righty. And Christy brings us the pause card this week. She says, slow down, stop, and think. Get more information, wait, and be sure. The challenge would be moving too fast, acting without thinking, being impulsive, and lacking all of the information. The crystal is red jasper with hematite. And the meditation is, I pause to reflect, making sure I have all of the information before I act. So it's one of those weeks. Don't be going crazy. If you can. Okay. Elizabeth brings us, I love her cosmic strip this week. So it is Angel Beth. She is, it says, resting the wings. She's riding a broom. She looks like a witch. She's in front of the full moon even. And the broom, of course, is Octavia, the octopus. It is so cute and clever, Elizabeth. I loved it. All righty. The Magic Monday message from Melissa. Our ancestors arrive with wisdom to share. The veil is thin, magic's in the air. And she has such a cute postcard this week of some ladies, like some Day of the Dead type ladies. It's really cute. So thank you so much for that, Melissa. Alrighty. Well, there's a lot of other great articles. I'm not going to get into all of them, but we do have a lot of new stuff for you to see, and I hope that you have a chance to read through them and get some great ideas. Jenny had some Samhain rituals to share. Chrisanne had a great article about no, saying no and being cool with it. Jenny has an awesome article about, oh, I told you that, about Samhain rituals. Our daily collective messages, of course, from Laurie. Anita brings us the goddess Lakshmi this week because not only has it been Halloween upcoming, but it has been Diwali, the festival of lights in India. So that's a special time for a lot of people, and for Anita particularly. And of course, she brings us Lakshmi because she is a big part of it. They are witch scopes, and they are written as if for a bad horror movie. So everything she said, for example, I'm not going to read this all to you, but some of it is just so funny. She said, somehow the month of October snuck in like a ghost and flew out like a witch. This week, most of the energy will be around Mercury retrograding in Scorpio. Cue scary music. Brace yourself, the emotional excavation is coming. Screams. The thing is, you are safe. So just try to roll with it. Feel the feels, do the work, try not to be too reactionary. Boo. And there's so much more. So clever, so cute. And as always, awesome information and inspired guidance as well. So thank you, Kelly. Absolutely loved it. So be sure that you take a look at Witch Scopes this week. And then lastly, the Radiant Poem Project this week from Jennifer Dove is all about Georgia O'Keeffe, who is her favorite Scorpio. Georgia O'Keeffe said, I've been absolutely terrified every moment of my life, and I've never let it keep me from doing a single thing I wanted to do. Awesome. So that is Luminous this week. I hope that you found something that resonates with you and sings to your soul. And if you do, let somebody know. All of the authors love hearing when they have hit a, what am I trying to say? Made a mark, hit a nerve, done something. So thanks you guys for that. Okay, quick jump here into the chat room. Okay. I love it. Amber shared a picture of her 5-year-old. Her 5-year-old is Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's. So cute. Awesome. I'm loving it. Loving it, loving it. Okay, let's go ahead, and I want to do a little singing bowl work today because we are in Scorpio, and that is such a creative time. But what I find with some of you guys is that it's a creative time, but you're kind of blocked creatively. And so while it should be a time that you're feeling pretty, inspired and creative to, create or to do something, instead you end up feeling all screwed up. Like, there's something you should be doing, but you don't know what it is. That kind of energy. And that sucks. So I have some ideas for you, mostly just opening up your sacral, really opening up that creative center so that you can do something. Now look, creativity is a lot of things. I had a note yesterday from a dear colleague that said, by the way, you are one of the most creative people I know. And I was like, wow, that is so nice of her. And then I thought, if she only knew how not creative I think I am. And then I think about all the stuff that I have created and that I do, and I think, maybe I am creative. Maybe that's just something that I tell myself. Maybe that's something that's been told to me. Maybe I don't need to listen to that anymore. But I wonder how many of us feel exactly like that, because maybe when we were kids, I think this is core belief stuff for the most part. When we were kids, we did not feel creative. Maybe other people around us were better than we were at various things, or whatever it is. But perhaps you just do not feel that spark in you. Maybe you used to. Maybe you never have. Maybe you just haven't had enough time, right? I find this in people. They go, I'm not creative. I don't do anything. here's what I discover they do. They work a lot, you know, in the home, away from the home. All they do is tasks and jobs. And when you are in that loop, it's hard to get out of it and see yourself and give yourself permission to do something different, to try something different, to have fun with something else, right? For giving yourself permission to spend the time, to perhaps spend the money. So, but you're missing out on some richness of life if you cannot find something in you that is creative and interesting to do, right? But it's so good for your spirit because creating is very grounding. It's centering, but of course it also really opens up that sacral. And the sacral isn't just about creativity. Two of its other main functions are about your sexuality and about joy. So if you're shut down in any of those areas, we need to look at the sacral and get it going again, because you deserve to feel passion. You deserve to feel joy. And you deserve to allow yourself out of the box to be creative in whatever way you choose. So that's what I've got for you. So we're going to do some singing bowl work along those lines. As soon as I drink tea, of course. Constant comment today, by the way. Okay, so here's the bowl. This is my enormous old Note of D sacral bowl. We're going to play it twice. Easy work today. The first time I play it, I would just like you to close your eyes, focus your energy on your sacral. That is that area below your belly button. If you see it, a lot of people see the sacral as orange. And all I want you to do is just sit with that and allow the frequency of the singing bowl to completely remove anything that you're holding that could be causing you a block, holding you back, or no longer serving your highest and best purpose. So we'll do that first. Okay, perfect. All right, so now changing gears, and we're going to now allow the vibration of the singing bowl to turn up your light and to bring the chakra into beautiful balance, opening up a place for creativity to flow, for passion to be unveiled, and for joy to abound. Okay, alrighty, so there you go. That's good work. I love that. Absolutely love that. And Jane, thank you. She said, I love that color on you. I think you're aging backwards. I hope so. I don't know, Jane. It's hard to tell in these videos, but I'm getting a lot of gray hairs in there. I don't know. I've colored them a couple of times and then I went, why? Why don't I just let myself, you know, go silver? What's wrong with that? I might change my mind tomorrow, but there you go. It's all what it is. All right, Amber, good. I'm glad that you love that. That feels amazing. Good work. Okay, so I would love to see what you guys are working on. If you have any creative projects that you want to share, please feel free. That would be fun. All right, so should we take a look? Speaking of creative, you know, it was Scott's birthday over the weekend, and you know, our valiant and talented producer, who is also my husband, and I bought him, he loves chai tea. Like, he drinks chai daily, all day. And he's always annoyed because there's one brand he really likes. We can't always get it. Sometimes the store that does carry it doesn't have it, yada, yada. And even that one, he's always like, oh, I mean, it could have a little more ginger, or I wish it didn't have quite so many cloves, or, you know, he's really discerning. He's better, I think, than I am at picking up like specific tastes or flavors in something. And so anyway, I had thought that I've watched him a few times fill his Amazon cart with everything he could possibly need to blend his own chai and then not buy it because, you know, it's a luxury. And so what? But he never buys it. So I thought, well, what do you buy the guy who really is pretty well set up in life, you know, something that he would never buy himself. So I ordered everything for chai he could possibly need. And I bought it on Amazon. So of course they came in these enormous bags. So he easily has enough ingredients to blend his own chai for a good year. So he's been playing with it. We've had some really good tries and some not very good ones. One yesterday that had so much nutmeg in it that that's all you could taste. And one today that didn't have enough cinnamon. And, you know, he's getting his little theory down. I knew he would. I figured he'd make a lot of chai before he had exactly the combo that he loved. And then he'll be making that all the time. And, you know, I'm going to benefit. So, smart. That's what he got for his birthday from here. Anyway. I think he loved it. I hope so. You know, he's one of those people that never knows what they want for their birthday. You have to make them at least go out to dinner for their birthday. They don't know where they want to go. You know, I mean, on one hand, he goes with the flow and he's pretty easy. But at the same time, you know, sometimes you want to do something really nice for somebody. Hello. Anyway, I know he's glad his birthday's over. He's hoping everyone will stop talking about it. So maybe we will. All right. Well, anyway, let's keep taking a look here and get going. Okay. Pamela said that gave me the chills and made my head feel swimmy in the very best way. Well, good. All right, I'm ready. So I am not ready. Hold on. Thought I was ready. So we're going to read Witch's Runes today, you know, because gosh dang it. It is the last show before the end of the Halloween month. I mean, come on. We could read Witch's Runes anytime we want. Let's get real. But I probably won't. I'll move on to something else. So, it's all good. Alrighty. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull a card from this deck. This is the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. And I will pull you a rune. And I'm going to use the two of those things to craft a reading for you. So that's what we're doing. Okay. Pamela's birthday is coming up November 4th. May I have a Witch's Rune reading, please, Pamela? Yes, you may. And happy birthday. Okay. On that note, Alishaya said she does live in the city and there are just not that many kids going door to door anymore. I mean, I get it on the safety front, you know. When I was a kid, my parents didn't go with us. We ran wild all over town. We went up on the hill to the fancy houses where sometimes they would give you a whole, you know, full-size candy bar or a can of pop or something. But we did what we wanted. Yeah, I wouldn't let my kids do that now either. All right, Pamela, I'm going to pull one card from the deck. So, that guy right there. All right, and I'm going to pull one rune from the bag, and it is this one. Okay, so you are definitely our guinea pig, Pamela, because I have not done this. It just really came to me that it would craft a nice reading together, so that's what we're doing. All right, so the card is Dreams. Very sweet little card. Looks like a little Victorian girl. She is got quite the wreath on her head. She's holding roses, and it's the Dreams card. All right, and the rune is the Scythe. No, yeah, I'll hold it in a way that you can hopefully see it. Yeah, all right, the Scythe. So the Scythe, it looks, you know, like a scythe, like a curved knife. All right, so the Scythe can talk about changes and endings. It can talk about completing things. It can talk about, it can talk about making some pretty significant changes or walking away from something or changing something. The Scythe essentially, right, is cutting something out or cutting some room. But, you know, think about using a knife in your life to create what you want. That's the Scythe. All right. So now we combine that with the Dream card. So let me ask why. Okay. All right. So the dreams you have here in the past few years, your health has really sidelined you. And it's made it really hard to set many goals, to have many dreams, to really think about things you want to do because you've been surviving. You had to have a big surgery not too long ago. I know that you've just kind of had, you know, you've had plenty on your plate. And because of that, the idea of having long-term goals has been kind of out the window. You just, you know, you end up in survival mode when your body does that. But you are recovering from some of this stuff, and I know that you have chronic illness, but you still have, you have a return of health coming that I think has already started and continues to move through here for you, that is making it so that you can start dreaming again, start making some plans again. I feel like this could be creative endeavors. I feel like this could have to do with travel and leaving your house a little bit more. I feel like this could be with doing something with writing. But I feel like that's what it is about right now, is for you really nurturing your dreams. So why did the Scythe come up? What does that have to do with dreams? Everything. Because if you are going to accomplish a dream or a goal, what are you going to cut out of your life so that you can do it? Right? There's always some trade-off, and that's not a bad thing, but there is a trade-off. So what are you going to do? Are you going to reframe your ideas about what you can do moving forward? Are you going to make some decisions about how you're spending your time? Are you going to make some decisions about who is taking up your time? Or maybe it's just about making some decisions about what kind of space you need to cut out for yourself in your home so that you have the room that you need to work on your goals. Maybe you need to set up a little office if you haven't. Maybe you need to create some quiet space where everyone knows if you're working there, they better can it, right? These are things I think that you really have to think about, because ultimately, Pamela, I think that this is really about you this year creating and coming into your own a little bit and giving yourself permission to and the space to work on some of your own dreams and goals. So, yay. And of course, maybe we use that Scythe to cut out the doubt and the bullshit so that you can do it, right? Right. Okay. I love it. Okay. Anna said she would love a Witch's Runes reading about leaving the old toxic job, embracing joy again, and living happily ever after. Amen, Anna. I'm with you. All right, so we'll pull a card from our deck here. All right. And, all right, so I didn't think about this being a little bit cumbersome, but I guess we're just going to roll with it, right? All right, so Anna, let's pull you a rune. All right. Okay. So the rune is the Eye. And the card is Dreams. You watched me shuffle, right? I did shuffle 2 times. I cleared the deck. Dreams. All right. So what does the Eye need to tell us about dreams? So when the Eye comes up, it's about lifting the veil, seeing the truth, focusing on what matters. And sometimes it's just about looking for the clues that you need to be able to make the changes you need to make. So how does it all fit together for you? Well, obviously, the dreams card is important for you, partly because I know you have prophetic dreams, right? And listening to those and making sense of them. And obviously the eye is asking for you to find the truth of them. That's one piece, but it's not the whole thing. So there's that. But there's also that part of you that is aching to work in a place where people are kind, is aching to work in a place where people are easy. Not necessarily your friends, but not your enemies, right? Not necessarily your family, but at least people that you can see at work every day and be pleasant with, that can be pleasant with you, and that you don't have to take your worries and your cares from your work home with you at night. That's what I feel like your soul's really asking you for. So there is that. So that's the dream, right? That's getting clear about what you want for work moving forward. And then the I, of course, A, looking for that thing, right? And B, seeing the truth of the situation that you're currently in so that you can set yourself free from it. Because honestly, at this point, you have to be able to give yourself permission to not struggle anymore. Give yourself permission to not have to feel bad about this, to not have to feel so responsible, and to set yourself free from all of the judgment. So there's both of those pieces of it. So of course, the I and the dreams. So Anna, I'm excited to see what you do, because I really feel like that change is going to come in for you in such a positive way. And I don't see it for a few months, but I do feel like it comes, at least the new job, sorry. I don't see the new job until sometime in 2020. How weird is that to say? But I know you're going to do it, and that it's going to be it's going to be better. Forgive yourself. You trusted. You found some toxic people that did not reciprocate, and it's really been unfair to you. Okay, let's see. Amber would love a message about her relationship. If we should move forward, do you see a happy, healthy relationship, or should we do a healthy co-parenting schedule and part ways? All right, well, let's pull a card and a rune here. All right. If this is the dream card, I swear to God. No, it's not. Okay. Actually, if it was, I would know that that's what you needed. I mean, that's just how it goes. You do not get weird about pulling duplicates, because it just happens. I think it's just a lot of times because collectively, a lot of times we are working on similar things, you know? All right, let's pull you a rune. So we're still asking the same thing about the relationship. All right. So the rune is the directions, which is what you're asking about exactly. So the rune indicates sometimes a change in direction. This rune, sorry, the crossroads. It can be a change, a major life decision. It can also mean that something is unknown. It can also indicate being afraid of moving forward. And I think that's a part of this. I know that you don't want to burn a good thing if it is a good thing. And unfortunately, it's not always a good thing. And that's the tough part. Now, interestingly, the card that I pulled is the Kindred Spirits card. And I think that, you know, though the card is to lovely little Japanese women, I think that you should, of course, superimpose your face and his upon this card, because truly you have been kindred spirits and you have created humans and you have had some really good times. There have been some really kind of disappointing and I think sometimes concerning changes here in the last little while that have made you, I think, question if you're really still in love. And I question that too, Amber, if you're really still in love. I think some days that you think, yeah, for sure I am, right? For sure I am. And then you have other days that you go, you know, I don't even like this person anymore. Why am I doing this? And therein is the challenge. Here's what I believe. I don't know that this relationship will or won't live. I'll be honest. I don't know. I think that you're the only person that can know that for sure. But I think that what you really need to hear today is that you need to be listening to that stuff that your body's saying to you, that your heart is saying to you, and you need to address it. These two people, these kindred spirits, they can co-parent beautifully. And if it comes to that day, that can happen. And I feel like you guys can do that beautifully. I'm going to recommend that you give it maybe just through the holidays to decide if this is really what you want. But I'm going to tell you, Amber, I don't really feel like you're in love anymore. And can that come back? Sure, it can. Sure, it can if it's meant to. One thing I would highly recommend right now through the end of the year as you're kind of mulling this over is that you guys find a way to get more time with each other. That you get back to going on a weekly date, or, you know, staying up after the kids go to bed for an hour to give each other a little bit of time. But, you know, that you really commit to having some better time together. Because I think one thing that's happened is that there has been too much distance between you because of life stuff that's made it a little bit hard to really feel this relationship so much. So that's what I feel. And again, you know, I can't tell you that this will or won't totally work out because you're the only one that knows that for sure. You can let it flesh out. But I will tell you that I do feel like if the day comes you decide to separate and to not be together any longer, you can co-parent beautifully, and I think that you will. Because even if you decide you're not in love anymore and you don't want to be together anymore in a romantic aspect, you will always be kindred spirits. You will always be able to be friends, be co-parents, be good for each other. And maybe in a better sense than you are for each other right now. So, you know, we'll be here to support you in that, however this goes. Okay. And Renee, Renee, I love it. She painted Van Ghost for Halloween. She said it's a cinnamon cooney design that she did on YouTube. It was fun to do. It's 9 by 12. It's so cute. So it is a cauldron full of ghosts. So Van Ghost, you know, it's a little like Starry, Starry Night. So Renee, please tell me that your ears are fine and intact. That's a ridiculous joke, I know, but I had to make it because that's who I am. I love it. Okay, how fun. All right, Denise. Yes, let's pull Denise a card and a rune. She also said the singing bowl was great. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. I'm going to be asking Santa for more singing bowls. Not the giants. Remember, I sold all my giant bowls because they're too heavy for me to hold up. And I have arthritis in my shoulders and my wrists, and no, it was too much. But I really want some more bowls that are about this size-ish in the upper chakras. So that's something that I'm going to throw out there right now, just in case Santa Claus is listening somewhere out there in Wintry Radio Land, like my producer, you know, anybody at all. I want some new singing bowls. I need to start looking because I'm super picky. Super, super, super picky. All right. Okay, Denise, here we go. That was a big lead up, sorry. Let's pull your card first. There it is. I'm not sure. It might have been this one. I'm taking two. Okay. I was wrestling a card out and I had my finger on it, but it might have been the card underneath. We'll know soon enough. Okay. The rune for you. Okay. Oh, it is the eye. The eye again. So the eye, of course, is about seeing truth. The eye sometimes is about seeing beyond the veil, seeing through manipulation, seeing through, you know, what's on the surface of things. So we'll bear that in mind. All right, so the first card that I pulled that I thought was it was the Shadow Self. And I actually think that is the card. The other card is Adventure. And while I sincerely hope you get an adventure this year, I don't think it was the card that we were meant to pull. I really feel like I was right in the first place. Should have trusted myself. The Shadow Self. So what does it mean? We have the eye, we have the Shadow Self. How does it come together? Okay. I feel like, Denise, that as you as your body is going through some changes. You've had some real energy shifts come up here in this last year, really. And emotionally, that you have some core beliefs coming up that you might need to face. These are beliefs from your childhood. They might not be things that you really fully believe anymore about yourself. I feel like these are things that maybe you were told about yourself when you were little, somewhere around grade schoolish, middle schoolish, junior high-ish age. So I'm going to say somewhere from like 10 to 14-ish is where some of these formed. These are beliefs about yourself and about your body that it's time to challenge. It's time to look through those beliefs, look through the fear, the judgment that somebody else put on you that helped form these beliefs, and it's time to release them. And so I want you to really consider what those core beliefs might be. And maybe they're not all about your body. That's the first one that came up, but it might not be all of it. This is just about who you are. What other people told you about who you are versus who you find yourself to be. And give yourself permission to let go of any of those past judgments that were put on you, those past core beliefs, things that you just no longer resonate with, that you let yourself be free of them. Now, sometimes it takes a good energy session, some energy work to clear those away, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just takes you confronting them and going, you know what? When I was 10, my dad always told me I was chubby and pinched my butt, and I always thought I was fat because of that, and I don't believe that anymore. Okay, that's not yours, I know, but that's just an example, right? It's things we do to our kids because we're stupid. Your parents weren't stupid, any of you, but you know what I mean. It's stuff we do without really thinking, or maybe we are thinking. But anyway, Denise, that was a lot of rambling, but what really the message for you is that you really dig into some of those things that you were taught, decide if you believe that they're true or not true, and form some new beliefs, or at least give yourself credit for who you really are. So, and if you need some help working on that, of course, I will help you with that. Of course. Okay, we have 2 whole minutes. So, Julia, I don't think I have time for everything, but I am going to go ahead and pull you a rune. So, maybe I should pick them up so I can do a better job. Okay. All right. Okay. It is the female. This is the female energy, the female aspect. As you can imagine, if the female is a Y, the male is an arrow, you know, because they fit together that way. Duh. But I don't make these. I mean, I do make them, but I didn't design these, you know. Anyway, this is the female aspect. So for you, Julia, I feel like there is some real divine feminine energy around you. But the thing that really strikes me is that you have had around you some women that aren't in their best place. They're not in their best feminine energy. They're in their kind of worst. Being super competitive, behaving in a way that women are just sometimes bad for treating each other. Not always. I'm hoping we get more away from that every day. But I feel like you've had some of that around you. Some catty stuff, some detrimental stuff, some damaging stuff from other women. And the message here for you is to recognize it, see it for what it is, which is competition, it is unkindness, it is somebody else's issues that aren't really yours, to stand up for yourself and to know who to release from your life or to get some distance from. Because you know what, Julia? You don't deserve that at all. So there you go. Guys, we've done what we do. We've talked down to the end of the show. Don't forget, tomorrow I will be here all afternoon with postcards to the universe down the rabbit hole for our special Halloween 2-hour show. It's going to be so much fun with Raven, Melissa, and Elisa. And then, of course, I'll be back here at 7 p.m. on Halloween evening on Bitchsplaining with Kelly McLean for a special Halloween show. So, thank you all so much for being here. Have a happy Halloween. Have a blessed Samhain. Communicate with your ancestors. Be kind to yourselves and dress up like something fun. You've been listening to The Katie Weaver Show here on 1-2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.